Okay, here's my tutorial on running disk checks through a Linux live CD. First, you will need a live CD or live USB. I recommend the latest version of Knoppix. Knoppix includes all the utilities that you need pre-installed. I'm using MX Linux version 19.1 off of USB because I couldn't manage to install the latest version of OBS in Knoppix. Here is the software that you will have to install if your distribution of Linux does not have it installed by default. Here are the commands here: sudo apt-get install GNOME disk utility, and sudo apt-get install clamtk, daemon, and clamtk. I'm listing the commands that you will have to run in a Debian system or a Debian derivative. If you're running a different distro, you'll have to use RPM or Yum or Pacman or whatever your distribution uses. I will go over the different package managers in more detail in a future video. First, let's open up our disk utility. Pop over here into Accessories, Disks. Alright. On this PC, we see 3 hardware devices that we can examine and 2 volumes that we can count over here. Let's focus on the hardware devices. The hard drive's already selected. Let's bring up the most useful menu. In the upper right corner, you see these 3 dots in my window manager. In Knoppix, it looks like 3 horizontal lines. Click it and select the Smart Data and Self-Tests. There's plenty of data recorded here. Let's open that up. There are 2 values that I focus on: power on hours and reallocated sector count. These values are different in different hard drive manufacturers. Here the hard drive ID, the Smart Attribute ID 5 is reallocated sector count, and that's at 0 sectors. If my hard drive is anywhere above 0, I'm replacing the drive. Power on hours at ID 9 is at 1 year, 0 months, 4 days. That's pretty good. So there's a self-test option right here that we can use: short, extended, and conveyance. The short test takes a few minutes. Extended can take hours, but it thoroughly checks that drive. And conveyance, apparently, this is something that hard drive manufacturers will do. Have your drive manufactured in somewhere in Asia, ship it over to the country where you're going to sell it, run the conveyance test, and that thing, let's see, conveyance test will verify that the motors and heads are still working to ensure that there's no damage happened during transport. I am not doing any tests right now. I need to keep this video short. So, out of there. Close that down. Accessories, clamtk. Okay, there's our virus scanner. I'm going to go into, an update is available. Go over to updates, click on update, check for updates. You want to keep your virus scanner nice and current because, gosh darn it, they're always writing new ones. Yay. Okay, that's done. Let's go into settings here. I've configured this virus scanner to check for updates to the program. That's important. And to scan directories recursively. Basically, once you choose a directory to scan, it'll scan all the subdirectories of it and all the subdirectories of the subdirectories, and so on. I've also set this to scan files larger than 20 megabytes and scan files beginning with a dot, because I want to be thorough. Here we go to scan a directory, and here oftentimes I'm going to be looking over here. Here's my USB stick. We're going to look at the main hard drive. Oh, gotta put in a password. Give us a moment. And this is what pops up on the hard drive. Obviously, this is a Linux system. I'm not going to be bothering to do a virus scan here. But if you were to do a virus scan on this hard drive, you just click OK, and it would go through all these directories. So, why are we examining the hard drive under Linux and not Windows? One common problem when diagnosing problems with your computer is finding out if the software is buggy or the underlying hardware is giving you troubles. By booting into an OS other than Windows, if that OS works just fine, problems either in the software of the PC or the hard drive itself. Our bootable Linux OS includes a hard drive tester. We can run the smart data and self-tests. And as long as you're running Linux, it's a good idea to run a virus scan. Unless a virus has managed to infect the firmware of your PC, it won't be running under Linux, only when booting Windows. That means it can't do anything against your virus scanner while the virus scanner is running. If you're booting into Windows, any virus running can try to thwart a virus scanner. Here we can run a virus scan with a greater degree of safety.